Greetings and welcome to a preview Let's Play in Tyranny, a world in which evil has won. It seems strangely fitting somehow to begin a series of this today of all days. And begin is precisely what we're going to do. Just a quick heads up before we start. This is obviously a role-playing game. It's from Obsidian, the masters of this genre of role-playing game. And as such, obviously, it's heavily story-driven. So spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I'll try not to ruin anything too fantastic, but nonetheless, bear that in mind before we begin. Also, this is a pre-release copy, so there may be some bugs and other things which will not, hopefully, persist through to the release version. But on that note, let us begin a new game in a world riven by chaos and conflict, where evil stands on the brink of total victory. The story so far.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might.
Look at that red spreading across the map.
Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will.
All praise Kairos the Overlord.
Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world. And two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spy master and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tyranny, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tyranny brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
Thousands indeed, perhaps even millions. But whose hands are they in? Who is the champion of evil, the master of tyranny, and the great threat to the stability and order of the world? Well, it's certainly not this chap here. I mean, look at him. Come on, that's outrageous. No. What we need to be is far more orange than that. Should we go with that? That's sort of, I guess that, it's either that or that. That's probably the closest to sort of orange that we can get. Body type as well, I think we're going to go with this one. This is kind of like, you'll see where I'm going with this. You may already be able to guess. But like portrait-wise, there aren't really choices that are going to work for us. So we're going to go with this because it sort of hides our face and, that's good. Speaking of face, let's go with this one. I think that sort of works. It's sort of like, it portrays something of the character I'm trying to get across here, I think. Hair-wise, like toupee isn't an option, but I think we can go with something like this. That's probably going to have to be the closest that we can get. There we go. And it has to be bright blonde. That's definitely, that's him right there. Voice-wise, it's really very quiet, but I think we're going to go with Sneaky. Yeah, well, we're going to go with Sneaky. We can't really hear him, but Sneaky sounds like the right choice to me. Moving on. History. How did you join Kairos' army? Well, I mean, there are many good choices here, but clearly, the only one that makes any sense for us is a noble scion. Born to noble parents, you were groomed for leadership. Your youth spent on letters, history, rhetoric, especially rhetoric. In fact, rhetoric was probably your favourite class of all, and other matters of culture and statecraft. Though you had wealth and creature comforts, you were expected to grow up quickly and bear the honour of shepherding others through prosperity, which if possible you would strip from them and acquire for yourself, leaving them in the gutter along the way. And war. Don't forget war. War's great for profit. When your parents came under accusations of sedition, however, you were sent to the court of Tunon, Archon of Justice, to defend your family's actions. Your parents were found guilty. Their sentence, the dissolution of the treasonous estate. So clearly, not a bit of a failure. Should we just say failure in early life? That probably makes sense. Eloquently pleading, however, your own ignorance on your family's actions, you negotiated your most important deal yet. A bit of a deal maker, are you? A little bit of a deal negotiator. But your immunity from the crimes of your family for the simple cost of swearing fealty to the Archon himself. Despite the unwilling induction, your education and savvy made you a valuable addition to the Archon's cadre of enforcers. And so long as you remain in good standing, your family just might be allowed to live. Do we care about that? I'm not sure we care about that. Let's just move on. Primary expertise. Now, really, it's a choice between spellcasting and swords and stuff, but I think we're going to go for a kind of a youngish version of this person. And I think a greatsword it's kind of, it's the closest thing to a blunt instrument that we've got here. It's like less finessed than sword and shield or like dual wielding. Like these would be fantastic. Like I would love to play an unarmed character, or possibly a shortbow character, or a shortbow and unarmed character, and go full ninja. But it just doesn't. It doesn't fit this character. This character is not a ninja. I mean, this character is far from a ninja. So I'm going to go with greatsword. That's what I'm going to go with. And I think we're going to take cleave, which is like an AoE attack, as opposed to sunder, which is like a powerful armor reducing attack. But cleave, just swing wildly all about you and hope that you knock down your opponents. That's the path. That is the path to victory, it seems. Secondary expertise, shock spells, possibly. War mace. I mean, there's sort of a bit like that really is a blunt instrument. But as a secondary weapon, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take spells of some sort. Shock spells. Shocking, I think, is not an inapt description of this individual, and outrageous. So let's go with shock spells. Color. Absolutely. We need the right colours here. We want, for our lower half, blue, like that, and red for our upper half. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do us. Maybe kind of a slightly lighter red. No, we'll go with the darker red. Darker, grimdark red, lighter blue. It's not exactly right. It'd be nice if there was like a colour picker here. But it's sort of either slightly too dark or slightly too bright. That looks slightly ridiculous, so I'm gonna go with it. Because I think that's definitely the right thing to do. There can be only one. Look, there's loads of cool banners here as well, loads of fantastic banners here, but there can be only one for this character, and it is this one. It's kind of a bit like a T. Can you see where I'm going with this? Can you see where I'm going with this yet? For the colours, it's just going to be the same again. We want maybe blue. Maybe the other way around. Blue for the banner and red. Red for the trump. Maybe we'll make the banner like a... Ooh. I say. Yes, that is it. That is our banner that we're going to have right there. Unless we switch these two around. Do we want to switch them around? No, we want them back the way they were. Excellent. That is our banner. That is our colour scheme. This is our character. But who is he? Well, who else could he be but the magnificent, the maniacal, the evil and sinister Donaldeth Trumpeth. Donaldeth Trumpeth. Bastion of evil, adjudicator of the laws of Kairos the Magnificent, and all round, outrageous and dangerous character to have deciding the fates of thousands, let alone millions or tens of millions, or indeed billions. But yet, that is who we have. Next, Donaldith Trumpeth. What are your attributes? What are your many skills and abilities? This is kind of a young Donaldith Trumpeth. So, he's a young fantasy evil villain, Donaldith Trumpeth. So let's not get too hung up on it. But I do want to roleplay this a little bit. So I think, not too much might, a little bit of might, but not too much might. I think probably we're going to drop finesse down, because finesse describes a character's physical and mental precision. Finesse is used to determine accuracy of attacks and spells, as well as increase worn armor chances and reduce hit types. I don't think Donaldith Trumpeth is all that finessed. He is more of a blunt instrument, to be sure. We're going to give him a little bit of quickness, because he can be, at times. We're also going to give him plenty of wits, because I don't think anyone would claim that Donaldith Trumpeth doesn't have a brain cell or two that he is able to make use of. I mean, he got to this point somehow, didn't he? He became the fate binder of the world through something, and if it's not wits, then I hate to think what it was, other than perhaps, wadges and wadges of cash. We're also going to give him a little bit of resolve, because let's face it, he certainly has a fair amount of mental and physical resolve. I give the man his dues. Skills, let's go for a little bit of magic staff as his backup weapon, his two-handed weapon. This is his main, so let's chuck in a good few points there. This is his this is his main firepower. This is the way that he judges the world around him and enforces his will through the weighted blade of a mighty two-handed sword. Just like the real Donald Trump, I guess. Athletics, yes. As a young Donald Trump, let's give him plenty of athletics. We'll beef him right up and make him super tough, super powerful, and mighty Donaldith Trumpeth, Fatebinder extraordinaire. Parry, I guess we'll put a couple of points in parry. That could be useful. Put a couple of points in lore. Control lightning. Let's put that up to 30. And there we go. That is our character. That is Donaldith Trumpeth, Fatebinder of Kairos. Last chance for the people of this land. Last hope before chaos and disorder swallows all. Can he find it in himself to rule and make fair and reasoned choices? Or is he going to be a bit of a sociopath and basically keep changing his mind and telling people what he thinks they want to hear, and whatever will get him the best return for Donald Trumpeth? We can either play through the conquest here, which is kind of like a choose-your-own adventure where you are taken through the 3 or 4 years of the conquest of this corner of the world and your role in it and the decisions that you make, which will affect the state of the game at the beginning, your kind of relationship with the different factions and other things like that. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go for a quick start because, Donaldith Trumpeth does not trouble himself with minor quibbling details like what decisions he may or may not have made in the past, what he may or may not have said or done, or indeed anything else which might be, a detriment to him doing precisely whatever he feels like at that moment in time. Let us continue then, and you know what? We can basically choose a quick start that either favours the Scarlet Chorus, the disfavoured, or takes us down a sort of neutral path between the two. I'm just going to choose randomly. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to wave the mouse around. I'm just going to click. Did that click? I think that clicked. Alright, I'm gonna see if I can click done. Should be down here somewhere. Did that do it? That did it. There we go. 100%, folks. 100%. I know what I chose. I chose disfavored. That's what I chose. And, I am a man who believes in the disfavored cause. And 100%, we are going to make the disfavored great again. We, in Kairos' army, are going to make...
The year is 431.
Who is this woman talking over me?
Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers.
I'm talking here.
The younger realms, the bastard tier,
I'm Donald
the
Trump.
free cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands.
Folks, I don't know who this woman is, or why she's talking over me, but I can tell you now, what she has to say is not important. You don't need to listen to her. But if, in case you do want to listen to her, and you might want to listen to her, because what she tells you could well be important, I'm going to shut up, and I'm going to let you listen for a little while, and I swear, I'm not going to, 100%, I'm not going to interrupt her.
But our will is not yet extinguished.
It is extinguished.
Not entirely.
I'll have you know.
In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance.
She's lying, folks.
Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault.
It's rigged. I have said from the beginning that it is rigged. And, folks...
With their main forces spread across the tiers, the disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance. But months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers.
I have said it from the beginning. You cannot trust Tiersmen, folks. These Tiersmen mean nothing but chaos and bloodshed for us and our people. And, you know, folks, I mean, I'm just saying, we can do something about it.
The Overlord is not amused. And Kairos has one message for the Archons. Crush the Oathbreakers, or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons.
It's true, I carry the edict. I am the edict carrier, 100%. This edict is going to free us all. This edict is the solution to all of our problems. With this edict, we're going to sweep away the old. We're going to sweep it away. It's just going to be gone. It's going to be like over there somewhere. I mean, over there as well. I just want to say this. Over there is a horrible place. It's a horrible place. You don't want to go there. And we're not going to go there, because we're going to sweep what we have here over there with Kairos' edict. That's what we're going to do, folks. That is what we're going to do, 100%.
As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you.
Was that Kairos' magic, or was it me? I'm just saying, folks. Coincidence? I'm just saying.
You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
Ah, there he is, look. Fatebinder, Donald Trumpeth, I presume. We've been expecting you. Yes, I'm sure you have 100%. You have been expecting me. Folks, I'm here. I'm here now. I have arrived. Everyone can relax. I have all of the solutions to all of the problems. And there are a lot of problems. I mean, there are a lot of problems here. But I'm going to solve these problems. Kairos, the Overlord be praised! When I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. As you can see, I have made it through the power of my own incredible ego and personality. I have, against all the odds. Everyone predicted, by the way, that I wouldn't make it through. Everyone said there's no way that Donald Trumpeth is going to make it through before that thing comes down. Here I am, folks. Here I am. The disfavored warrior claps her gauntlet to her... Oh, it's a chick. It's a lady. I mean, sorry, I couldn't tell under your armor there. Sorry, little lady. The disfavored warrior claps her gauntleted hand to her breastplate, the traditional salute of her legion. The commander wouldn't say why the governor of Lethian's Crossing would be coming, but since we have no forges here, I imagine that you're here to knock some sense into the voices of Nerat. She catches herself, clearing her throat with a smile. I mean, mediate with the Archons, so that we might agree on a plan to wipe out these Oathbreakers. One of the nice things about Tyranny is, we get these kind of like colored text hints in the dialogue and stuff, which we can mouse over and indeed right click on if we want to see more information about that particular topic as we go. For example, when she called me the governor of Lethian's Crossing, she was referring to a conquest decision, which I totally paid attention to. I wasn't just waving the mouse around randomly and, you know, choosing a path, because I care. I 100%, folks, I care. But apparently, in the year 429 TR, the second year of the conquest of the Tears, we were assigned as the governor of Lethian's Crossing, overseeing the Iron Forges, tasked with supplying the hosts of war. The tiny settlement grew quickly that year, and before leaving, you assigned control of the settlement to the disfavored, whose elite soldiers benefit the most from the forge's output. Having improved efficiency, order, and quality of the forge, 100%, folks, I took over those forges, and I built them. I built a business out of them. I built a glorious, shining business. I mean, a lot of people might have been made bankrupt, including myself in the process. But folks, I tell you, corporate bankruptcy is not the same thing as personal bankruptcy. So it's just good business. Good business is what it is. Having improved efficiency, order, and quality of the forges, made a load of people redundant, and generally enriched myself and a few others, many disfavored soldiers think of me as the chief rainmaker of their arsenal. Wow. Much to the chagrin of the mage smiths that actually hammered the iron, and still think of you as the honorary governor of Lethian's Crossing. Well, I mean, 100%, folks, that was me. That was all me. Right from the very beginning to the very end, it was me. It was Donald Trumpeth. That's it. Donald Trumpeth. That's it. That's all I got to say. And by the way, folks, if I hadn't have taken on Lethian's Crossing, we would have lost. We would have lost. It would have been last. Everything would have been last. The whole world would have been last. Kairos, dead in the gutter. I'm just saying. Good. That's very useful information. The Oathbreakers, meanwhile, in honor of the Vendrian Guard reneging on the surrender of 429, soldiers in both the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus now refer to these Tearsmen as Oathbreakers. It is perhaps one of the few points of agreement between the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, or, you know, Democratic favored and the Scarlet Republiorus. Maybe. I mean, the parallels are uncanny. Good, let's get rid of that and continue. We have gained favored with disfavored. Gained favor with the disfavored. It always sounds weird to me. And we can also get rid of this. We don't need Donald Trumpeth. 100%, folks. Donald Trumpeth does not need any advice. I am 100% my own advisor. I listen to Donald Trumpeth. Donald Trumpeth listens to Donald Trumpeth. And by the way, folks, Donald Trumpeth is the best guy. He is the best guy to listen to about everything and anything. Aurora. But on a personal note, it is good to see another harbinger. By Kairos' will, most of our old invasion forces still lives. But most of us have been scattered across the tiers, reassigned as needs change. I miss those days, when there was so much battle ahead of us, so much glory still to be won. But I know the Archons are expecting you. Don't let me wax nostalgic about the old days. Should I just glare silently at her? 100%, I'm in a hurry to deliver the message to the Archons. And I'm just saying, I come bearing an edict of Kairos, an edict, mind, of Kairos. Our soldiers will complete their task, or die. That's it. That's it, folks. It's complete the task or die. I'm just saying. The edict is leveled against us. Her eyes widen with fear. Her posture slackens. But the Scarlet Chorus prevents us from taking action. Why would the Overlord punish both of us? She clears her throat with a sigh. Forgive me. It's not my place to question. We should have conquered the enemy within weeks of arriving in the valley. The delay reflects poorly on all of us. 100%, does not reflect poorly on me, folks. I mean, I saw this coming. I have said for years, I have said that, you know, this was going to be the way that it was going to be, you know? But don't worry, we are going to make this place great again. Wherever this place is, we are going to make it great again. 100%. And possibly build a wall, you know? Also, if we all follow Kyrus' will and stop the insurrection, no harm will come to any of us. 100%. Folks, it'll be fine. I've seen why they call you Stormcaller. I saw firsthand what happened to Stalwart for their refusal to fight. Now we are the ones guilty of stalling and offending the Overlord. She clears her throat, blinking quickly as she recovers her composure. I'm sorry. As you said, if we follow Kyrus' will, there is no need for concern, as ever the case. Well, you've travelled a long way. I won't keep you further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you at... Her voice falls silent, her attention snapping eastward with alarm. Did you hear that? More runners. Third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send messengers through the mountains to gather help from outside the valley. She points over to the collapsed path by which you arrived. But they're a bit too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. 100%. We will do that. Folks, we don't need to know about combat, but combat, just in case you want to know about combat, is much the same as in Pillars of Eternity and other games of this ilk. It proceeds in real time, but you can pause it to issue orders and select from your many skills and abilities. Obviously, as Donald Trumpeth, I'm going to let this lady fight for me whilst I maybe use my other weapon. Can I switch to my other weapon? I don't even know. Like, I know I've got this, like, massive sword, but you know what? Should we just like go with the massive sword? Should we go with a cleave or a thrust? Or possibly a charged fist. Let's open with a charged fist. Eat the charged fist of Donaldus Trumpeth, Oathbreaker. It didn't work. Apparently, I am all hot air. Fine. I'm just going to hit you with my big sword then. 100%, folks. And by the way, when you fall ultimately to the terrifying and awesome power of Donaldus Trumpeth, folks, it's because you're a criminal. You're a criminal, and you deserve it. You deserve everything you get. You deserve to be destroyed utterly by Donald Trump. It's taking me a little while. Maybe I could do like a bit of a cleave. What? There's no cleaving happening. Oh, there it goes. Oh, yes. A mighty cleave. Well done, Donald Trumpeth. I can also get a bit of Warrior's Respite. But, oh, no. It's
on it.
It's done. It's all done. There's one more. Let's check it out before. All right, you know what? We'll do one more. There's a little battle going on down here. The avalanche has blocked us. Think you could fit through the rubble? Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of portly. I've had rather too many. Donald Trumpeth does like to eat his donuts. I mean, I'm just saying, folks. I do like to eat my donuts, and I'm not sure if I can do it. But I can move it, look. I can move it. Because I am mighty and strong and powerful. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes! Donald Trumpeth crushing his opponents in entirely respectable and decent manners and ways and things. All right, moving on. Let's go in with an attack. Follow up with a cleave. I don't think I'm actually going to hit this guy. It's going to be a fairly useless cleave. Pow! It was just a fairly useless cleave. Let's try with a thrust. Haven't they? Donald Trumpeth has decided that you 100% are going to die. 100%, folks. We do not want any more of this from you. I am wounded. Donald Trumpeth is feeling a little bit poorly. Quite poorly indeed.
Take that!
Take that! He cries in his heroic voice. Alright, we're going to win this. If we don't win this, it's rigged. I'm just saying, folks. I have won. It wasn't rigged. As it turns out, it wasn't rigged. Who knew? Who knew? Instead, we're going to direct our attention now to this female who we are going to spear from behind. Probably there should be some kind of adult content warning as well. Tyranny does actually have a little bit of swearing and other bits and pieces in it, yeah. Watch out for that if you continue to watch this series. It's probably not suitable for audiences of a younger age group who may find it disturbing and or boring as I continue to make a very bad impression of a certain US politician who recently won an election, and generally a kind of poor attempt at comedic parody of a frankly absurd situation. Not that I think anything terrible is going to happen, and I understand, if you're in America, you had a choice between two bad choices. It were two bad choices. I mean, from my perspective, one was absurd and bad, and the other one was at least plausible and bad, but you know what? That's democracy, folks. Anyway, that is also where we're going to have to leave this first episode of Tyranny and the Adventures of Donaldus Trumpeth, Fatebinder of Kairos and Champion of Evil. We will return with more of this over the next few days. Hopefully, I'm going to record a bit more of this right now because I'm actually really enjoying playing this game. I think it's fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope it hasn't offended you, and indeed that you return and watch the next part. But until then, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later.